Happy Vending.
Hello and welcome to Happy Vending. I'm Bill, and today on the channel I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do a modification to this Royal GIII machine in real time, and that means I'm not going to stop the camera at all. My recorder, my video guy, is just going to keep recording non-stop. So if it takes me a half hour to repair this machine, then it's going to be a half-hour video. We're not going to do any editing of this video. So if I mess up, I mess up. That's all there is to it. Hey Lulu, we're at a high school here, some students walking by, but we'll just try to ignore them because we're going to do this in real time. Now, the fluorescent bulbs in this machine just recently died on me. And a lot of my machines I've already converted to LED. Like this one over here has been converted to LED. This one I was just leaving with the original fluorescent lights. But when I went to the electronic supply company to get new bulbs for it, they were $45 a bulb for this machine. And I needed 2 of them, so that was like $90. That's a lot of money. And the fluorescent bulbs only last a couple of years and then you have to replace them. Whereas in all the machines where I put LED bulbs in, you know, they're running 5, 6 years. I've never replaced any of them that I've converted to LED. And the bulbs that I use, they cost around $60, $60, $65, depending on the length of them. So I just bit the bullet and I said, well, I'm just going to do the conversion to this one to LED. And this is what I got. I got these Sign Hero bulbs. They're made by a company called Keystone Electric, and I get them from my electronic supply company that's in this town. Now these specific ones here, and come a little closer, these are what they call 180 bulbs because they only have the LEDs on the one side, not the back. Originally they only had these in 360. There was a strip on the back and a strip on the front, and those bulbs were more expensive because they could light all around. But then they started making the 180s a little less money. I think they were $65 a piece for these. And I noticed they added a little addition that the old ones never had. This switch, you can change the color temperature of the bulb to a warmer light, which would be 4,000, to a really cool light at, it looks like 6,500, or 5,000, sort of in between. So I'm gonna choose the 5,000 color temperature on both of these. And that should probably match the one that's next to it, but that light is off. It doesn't come on until at the end of the school day when the machines start bending. Now I did turn this one on, but it's not lighting because I already took out the dead fluorescent bulbs. So we don't have to do that part of the job. Now when you put LED bulbs like this in, direct wire bulbs, one end of the bulb has to be the neutral, and it's on the end that has the N on it, stands for neutral. And when you have electric wires, the white wire is your neutral wire. I don't know why it has an L, because the other end has just the L, which stands for the load or live. I don't know exactly what they mean, but that would be the hot end, the black wire. And this machine has its ballast in it still, and the ballast sends both hot and neutral to both ends. So that's the first step. Got to pull out the ballast and rewire it so that you have, I'm going to put the hot at the top, and I'm going to put the neutral, the white wire, going to the bottom. So let's open it up. Let's get going on this. Remember, I'm not going to stop this. I'm not going to edit it. You're watching this repair in real time. So I hope I don't mess up. I hope I don't need any tool. I brought my whole tool bag, but for this job, I really am going to need like wire strippers and wire cutters. I brought some a wire extension because I'll show you in a second. The one wire is not going to be long enough, and a Phillips screwdriver to get the ballast out. That's really all I should need. Now in here, I've already removed the fluorescent lights. Like I said, the ballast is right here. This is the screw that removes the ballast. This is the top of the ballast, and this is the bottom of it. If you look in here, you can see the ballast. And I actually did put a new ballast in this machine when I got it because, of course, the lights didn't work. So I put the new ballast in and got new fluorescent bulbs. But for the time that I've had this machine, I think I've had to replace the fluorescent bulbs definitely 2 times, possibly 3 times. So that's why I'm getting tired of it. It's time to go LED. Now right over here is where the hot wires come in for the lights. You got the white, which is the neutral, and the black, which is the hot. and they're really no longer than this. So it's going to be long enough for, these are the wires that go to the top that I'm going to make the hot wires. And there's 2 wires that are going up to the top. I'm going to just group them together and hook them right into this hot right here. And that's going to be fine. That'll be fine. But the white wire, which goes to the neutral, has to go down a bit of a distance to the bottom of where the ballast is. And then if you look up here, the video guy is going to zoom in down there where all the wire nuts are, and you can see there's like 4 different wires going to the bottom. There's a lot of wires coming out of that ballast. I really only need to use 2 of those that are going down to the bottom. I don't have to use all 4 of those wires, so I'm going to leave a couple unused, but I need an extension to get down to that. Now, before I start taking off any of these wires, I want to disconnect the power to this machine, because that's 120 volts in there, and you'll get a pretty good shock. So I could pull off the fuse on the door, but just to play it extra safe, I'm just going to unplug the machine. Then I know that there's no power going anywhere in there. So that's step 1. Step 2, I'm going to, actually going to take off my watch because I don't want to scratch it up going in here. I'm going to disconnect all these wire nuts, because once I take off the screw, the ballast is going to fall, and then I don't want it hanging by the wires. So taking off the wire nuts, and I'm going to, I might get my pliers to just undo these. Good thing I have my whole toolkit here, and I have my pliers. Ooh. These are plastic lights too, so they're not as dangerous as working with the actual glass fluorescent tubes, because I've broken one of those before, and my God, it's a huge mess. Glass all over the place. These plastic, it's much harder to break them. So I'm just trying to get these undone. So now this is where in the video I would edit, but nope, we're gonna just do this in real time. My video guy is hoping it doesn't take a real long time, because of course he's not using a tripod and his arm might get tired. But he's a good guy. Shout out to John Carlo. I think he'll make it through this. So there we go. These are really bundled up there, which is good. You want a good connection on these. Sometimes I also put electrical wire over the wire nut just so it doesn't come undone, but boy, these are on here pretty good. I think it's going to come undone. There. Okay, so now I've separated the ones coming from the machine. This is my 120 volts. This one's going to the ballast, which I'm going to remove. And now I got to get down in there and remove these lower ones. It's going to be harder for the video guy to show this. And these wire nuts down here, they're kind of small. So I did bring a couple bigger wire nuts, because I wasn't sure if these are going to be good enough. You see these wire nuts are a little on the smaller size. And I am combining a bunch of wires together. All right, I got all 4 of the wire nuts off. I'm just gonna yank this apart. I remember once I was trying to troubleshoot lights in a machine, and I guess I was a little lazy and I didn't unplug it. I didn't unplug the machine. There's a student. She was gawking at the inside of the machine. She said she never seen the inside. One of the problems with working during the school day, when there's students around, they see the machine open. Everybody wants a freebie. You know, it's always like, oh, can I get a free drink? Listen, you can't make any money if you're giving everybody free drinks, I'm gonna have to squeeze in here. I'm gonna need 2 hands to get my pliers in here and undo these. Because when I tighten the wire nuts, it really bundled these wires together. I know this probably doesn't make for good video when you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just simply taking apart these wires that are bound together. And these ballasts, I don't even know why the ballast needs so many. I guess it sends both hot and neutral down to the bottom somehow. So one side of the bulb, because the bulb connectors, the fluorescent bulbs, they have those 2 connectors on the bottom of them. And I guess one is getting neutral and one is getting hot, so it needs both hot and neutral on both ends of the bulb, or at least one end of the bulb. So that's why you need all these wires. But when you go LED, you don't need all this. It really simplifies it, but it's just the process of doing this. It's a little annoying. Yeah, I don't know. Can you get in there at all, John? You probably can't. I almost have these undone. I didn't want to do anything in advance. I wanted to just see how long it would take to do something like this. You're actually seeing it being done in real time. Feel free to fast forward through this part of the video if it's looking kind of tedious. Watch the video in double speed. I don't think I'm going to speed up the video in editing because that kind of takes away from it. I want it to be the length of the full repair. Now, John Carlo is hoping that this repair doesn't last beyond the school day because he wants to go home. It's a half day today. He wants to go home and eat lunch. Or maybe he's going out to lunch. John, are you going out to lunch?
Maybe. I have some lunch with some friends, play some tennis outside. Hopefully it's not that windy.
He says he might go out to lunch with some friends and maybe play some tennis. Alright, I'm down to the last wire here. Jeez, these are really bound up tight. Whoever did this did a great job. I'm just saying that because it was me. I put this ballast in. And the ballast never went bad. I mean, the original ballast in here was one of those big old magnetic ones that were huge and heavy. I don't think I ever made a video about changing one of the ballasts in these machines. I made a video once about converting my 804 to LED. That was my big G3 machine, and that one still has those original bulbs. And I did that conversion, I think it was 2017. And that one's still going good. But I didn't do it in real time like this. Okay, great. I got all the wires disconnected. You want to look down in there, you'll see that. See this bundle? Do you actually see that I'm holding? That's the bundle. These are all the wires that go down to the bottom connectors. And there's 2 of them are blue and 2 of them are red. I think I'm just going to use 1 red, 1 blue, and that will give me all the power to both connectors. As long as these bulbs have one side of it getting the neutral, they'll work. I don't need to connect all 4. If I put all 4, it's just kind of messy in the wire nut. You got these 4 wires going into 1 wire nut plus the 1 extension wire that I'm going to have to run up to this white. That would be 5 wires in 1 wire nut. It's just a little messy. I just might tape off these other extra wires. I don't need them. All right, so there we go. Now let's undo the screw and take out the ballast. I guess I can keep this ballast. I have one more machine that still has its fluorescent bulbs, but honestly, when that one goes out, I'll probably convert it to LED. I don't know. If somebody needs an electric ballast for their machine, I guess you can hit me up. I didn't undo these wires. These are the ones that go up to the top. These are going to be my hot wires. That's what I was basically doing down there. You see how they're all bound together? That's what I was using the pliers for, to get in here and just turn them counterclockwise to get them apart. Like so. It's easier to do out here, but when you're squeezing down in there in the machine, it was a little harder to make that happen. We're near the band room. I hear somebody playing a snare. This is right before spring break. All right, there we go. So there's my electronic ballast. I'll put it in my bag. All right, good deal there. All right. These are pretty big wire nuts. They might be fine for the neutral, or the hot going up top. I'm gonna put the hot going up top. So basically, I got these. Now I can try to straighten these. I'm gonna put these together with the black, which is the hot. And I mean, I can try to straighten them, or I could re-strip them. I mean, I don't know. Let me see if I can get my pliers on them, and here they are. See what I can do. This one's not too bad. Somebody's gonna comment, you should have cut them off and re-stripped them. That's not code. I don't know. I'm not an electrician. I know enough to get by, but I mean, I don't know all about code. Now, some people think you should start twisting them a little bit with the pliers. Some people feel that you should just throw the wire nut on there and let the wire nut twist them together. I want to make sure they're all equal, like they're all starting at the bottom of the wire. Does it matter if you put the hot up top or the neutral at top? No, it doesn't really matter. As long as you put the bulbs in the machine the right direction. As long as you remember, maybe make a note on your machine, like, oh, it's hot up top. But I mean, I haven't had really to replace any of these LED bulbs, so I haven't even made notations. I guess if I had to replace them, I would just look and see when I take the bulbs out, was it the hot end up at top? And then I would know how I wired it. The reason I'm wiring this one, I'm gonna just trim the top a little piece of extra wire right there. That looks good. I'll use this. The reason I'm putting the hot up top on this one is because I needed a little extension of wire to go down to the bottom, and I didn't have black. I only had a white wire. So you want the white to represent the neutral. So I said, well, I've got to put the neutral at the bottom, because if I put the hot down there, I'd have white wire going to the hot, and it would confuse people. So for that reason, that's why I'm sending the neutral down. Here's my wire extension right here. It's the same type of wire. It's like a Romex type solid strand in there. So I can put a wire nut here, and you'll see that, but then I'm gonna have to really reach down there and get in there and do that with both hands. So he's not gonna get good footage of that, but we'll show you when I'm done. This wire, I've gotta strip it. You know, I wanna strip it about what the other wire is, showing about that much of the wire. Oh, there we go. It's good. And we'll straighten out this wire. Just get that looking straighter. I put relays in this machine to turn on off the lights using a timer. That wasn't like a standard feature of the Royals. Here's the relay that I installed. So the power goes to here, and then it daisy chains over to where I'm connecting, and that's controlled by the control board. It turns on and off the lights at different times. I don't think I ever made a video about that. I think when I did that, I don't know, I wasn't maybe making the vending videos. That was like one of the first things I did. I was like, no sense having these lights on at night when the students aren't here. It's just wearing out my bulbs. So I was having it turn off, and now I have it turn off when the machines aren't vending for students. So if they see the lights off, they know, oh, I can't get a drink right now. Machines are off. So it serves two purposes: saves the bulbs and gives them a visual reference there that the machine isn't vending. So these are good here. But now, I mean, this one needs to be about this length right here. So I'm going to cut this wire at this length, my extension. I'm going to strip this. All right, and now I'm going to have to get in here, pick one of the blues, one of the reds, push the other ones aside. I think, yeah, well, this one is pretty straight. I was probably thinking I was going to cut them, and let me move this down. Otherwise, it'll fall into the machine. I was thinking I was going to cut them and just re-strip them. But this one here isn't that, it doesn't need much straightening. So there we go, we got that one. Somebody's calling my name. We're making a video, young lad. Or lass. Somebody probably once asked me, can I get a free soda?
Yeah.
It's always best to just ignore them. Anybody in the vending industry, they know how that is. If you're servicing a location and workers are coming in while you're servicing, filling up a machine, they're always like, can I get a free sample? It's always a little annoying. Some people do give free samples, but if you make a habit of it, you're losing money. So now I'm combining the three wires, the one red, the one blue, and the white neutral wire coming down from the power. And this extension, once again, is where the ballast used to be. The ballast sort of worked as this wire, but now that I removed the ballast, you need the extension to replace where the ballast was in here. I don't know if Giancarlo can see where my wire bundle is, where I'm holding, but you see I twisted them together, and that's ready for the wire nut. And let me get one of my wire nuts. I have one more yellow one, and these yellow ones are big enough for just 3 wires together. So I'm gonna snip this on here. I think this wire nut is kind of worn. It's not really going on there. I don't like that one. I'm gonna try one of the orange ones. Since I didn't bundle all the wires together, I just have 3. I think the orange one will be fine. Yeah, this is going on a lot tighter. I like that. And like I said, you can always throw some electrical tape around these wire nuts to make sure they don't pop off. It's a little extra protection. Now I have these wires now that aren't going anywhere, but electricity is going to flow through them. So I got to cut off the ends that have the actual connectors, and I have to tape these up because you don't want live wires in there. So I cut off the ends that had the bare copper, and I'm going to put electrical tape on them. So in my toolkit, I always carry around electrical tape. I got this really thick electrical tape. That's great though. Got a nice piece on there. And just tape up one wire. Tape over the end. You would especially do this if these were the hot wires down there, but you don't want any bare wires. Let me put one more on here and I'll let you look at that. I guess I should have tried this repair. I should have tried doing a different type of repair in real time where you could see better. Okay, John, you want to look in here and see these two wires that I got taped up now? You see in here, I got the electrical tape on them, and now I'm going to tape them to the other wires to secure them even more. I hope the school day doesn't end. We'll have everybody and their sister here wanting free drinks. And John Carlo, he's going to be wanting to go play tennis. And he might want to go to Applebee's for lunch.
Probably not.
He said probably not. He only goes there for half-price appetizers.
Exactly.
And that's in the evening.
And it has to be 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it has to be 11. All right, I think we're all wired up. Now you want to take a look in here, John? So we got, the going up here, the hot, the black going up top, and then this neutral, the white, going down to those two wires. And that's looking good. Let's throw it now. Sometimes you have trouble getting these bulbs in. And remember, since the hot is up at top, we're not going to put the N up at top. We got to put the L for the, I guess, live or load, whatever they have that representing. And you want to make sure that the lights are facing toward your sign. These are high output connectors. The G3s have high output. You can't just go to Home Depot and get any old LED lights for these machines unless you replace all the sockets. But I keep the original sockets. So that's why I have to go to an electric supply place where they can order these special order and get the high output connectors for them. So you got to come in here, you got to go down and get it in there. Luckily this is plastic so you can, push it around a little bit. And the connectors do spin though. The top connector is spring loaded. So you go in the top first and you press up, and then you go onto the bottom one and drop it in. And there it is. And then you see this is not facing the front, but these spin. So you spin it to the front. Okay, one bulb's in. Now let's get the other one. Once again, making sure we got our load going up top. Let's throw this in. Gotta go all the way down. This one's a little tricky. Gotta get in there. Oh, good. And there's the connector up at top. Get that in, and then it's spring loaded. Push it up, and then look down at the bottom. Do you see it at the bottom? Can you see it over here? Good, I can't. I'm getting it in there.
Never mind.
He can't see it. I gotta make sure it drops in there. There, it dropped in, and then I'm gonna spin this until it aims to the front. Beautiful. Oh, he got caught up on that. That's the antenna for the credit card reader. At this point, I think we're good to go. I'm going to plug it back in, and if all is right in the world, after the machine starts up on the control board and it hits the relay to turn on the lights will pop on. You want to hit it from the front. You want to get it lighting up on the front, John. Plugging it in. Now it has to go through its control board sequence. If you didn't have a relay on your machine for your lights, they would have come on right away. but the board has to turn it on through the relay. You'll hear the relay click. Oh, you know what this machine does? This is a newer control board. These lights won't come on until the door is closed. You actually have to physically close the door. When you open the door, the lights turn off. That's on the newer G3 board. So I'm gonna press the door switch just to show that it's closing. There it is. I was getting a little worried there for a second. I was thinking, oh, we did this all in real time and they're not gonna work, but no, look at those beautiful lights. I think they're a little cooler at 5,000. I think the original fluorescents were probably like a warmer light, but that machine has a cooler light, so these two will match better now. And that's what I want. I'm actually gonna close the door now. I don't know if you wanna come in and look at the lights on. You see what they look like there? You can see all the little individual LEDs shining through there. And that worked perfectly. That's a textbook LED conversion for you. Well, let's let it turn on again. I guess all that's left to say is happy vending. See you next time.